Welcome back to the seaside, everybody. After the wind and the rain and the grey clouds of yesterday, the sun is shining here in Zandvoort. It is a beautiful day to go racing. Welcome along to Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux, race 2 of the weekend, race 4 of the season. What a day we had yesterday. It certainly wasn't 15 degrees centigrade in the air and 13.5 on the track. The rain was around, it was wet, it was cold. Still a bit of a nip in the air today. It's quite a strong wind blowing. And Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux, the first race of the day here at Circuit Zandvoort. So the sand that would have been blown onto the circuit overnight. Well, we've had a little bit of qualifying for the Frecker formula that has been here this morning. So hopefully that's cleared the track a little bit. But that man there, Dirk Schouten, will be looking to repeat exactly what he did yesterday. The advantage is that he's not starting from second on the grid like he did yesterday. He's starting from pole. Dirk Schouten, who got the jump on the pole sitter yesterday, Niels Langeveld, and led him into turn 1 and went on to win the race. It was by no means the dominant win that we saw at Spa-Francorchamps, where he won by over 6 seconds, but it was a win, and he stayed well ahead of the pole sitter, Niels Langeveld, who did come home in second place. Robin Knutsen, who has the dubious honour of finishing third in every single race this season, but Dirk Schouten took his second win of the season, his second win ever, and it means he has won 2 of the 3 races this season, and in doing so has propelled himself to the top of the point standing, 67 points ahead of Robin Knutsen, who has been just so solid, those third places. And it's fair to say that it is consistency rather than outright wins that can win championships in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. Robin Knutsen, if he can just keep picking up those podiums, he will be there in the championship when it really counts. Third in the championship, Paul Meyer, he has 39 points. To remind you, it's 57 that Dirk Schouten has at the top of the point standings. It was a 5th place for Paul Meyer yesterday, and yesterday's pole sitter, second place, Niels Langeveld, is 4th in the point standings with 38 points. It's still very, very close in the points. It's still fairly early in this 12-race season, but the man that a lot of people have been talking about, that man there, the number 69 car of Kalle Rovanperä. Yes, you heard that right. The 2 times World Rally Champion, the current World Rally Champion, the youngest ever World Rally Champion, has decided to have a little go at circuit racing, his first ever circuit race, and he absolutely loved it. And I tell you what, we loved it too. The fans loved it. He impressed from the word go. Kalle Rovanperä was quick in all the free practice sessions. Yesterday, he started 3rd on the grid. At the start of the race, it was a whole new discipline for him. He was having to get used to dealing with other cars around him. Of course, rallying, very much a solo activity in the grand scale of things. In a race with 24, 25 other cars around you, that's a whole different ball game. And we're upside down. That's the view from Australia. Hello to everybody who's watching in Australia, by the way, at Kobe Powell's. Yes, so Kalle Rovanperä had to get used to the whole concept of being in a race with lots of other cars around him. It took him a little while to get used to it, but this man is such a fast learner. By the end of the race, he was up to 4th place. He reckons, given one more lap, he would have been on the podium, and I think that was a fair assumption to make, because he was on a charge. We're so excited to see how he does in this race. We're so excited to see how so many do. Alongside Dirk Schouten is Benjamin Pack. He had a tough time. He had a penalty that was being carried over from Spa-Francorchamps, which relegated him down the grid yesterday. He wants to get his championship back on track. He's in 5th place in the championship with 33 points to Dirk Schouten's 57, so he's got a bit of work to do in terms of points. His main championship rival is starting there alongside him here at Circuit Zandvoort. Of course, this is Dirk Schuiten's home race. So he is very motivated indeed. His vocal fan club have been absolutely loving the golden helmet driver who has been taking the headlines. The car's now starting out on their formation lap. We just have to tell you, we had a big accident at the start of yesterday's race. Pleased to say there were no injuries. Also pleased to say we have a couple of new cars on the grid. Domas Radonis and Thomas Cangro have both had new cars prepared for them for this race, so they are able to take part. So we have a full grid of cars for this race 4 of the season. So the formation lap is underway. Dirk Schuiten quite a long way ahead, doesn't want to get too far ahead, doesn't want to be sat on the grid for too long. He's on pole position with Benjamin Pack alongside the D'Adrian Luxury Performance. Paul Meyer and yesterday's pole sitter Niels Langeveld are on row 2. Row 3, Sasha Norden and Kalle Rovanperä. Row 4 of the grid, Colin Berninghausen is our leading rookie. Great to have him here. Robin Knutson alongside him. And on row 5, Koba Pauws, he's been so impressive. Draker Janssen enjoying his first weekend in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. Niels Troost and Sam Yongyan line up on row 6. And on row 7, Jurin de Back and Alex Ryman. He got damaged yesterday, but he kept going. Wolters Viedris and Nick Ho, another one who didn't make the start yesterday, line up on row 8. And on row 9, the leading Pro-Am driver is Jules Gruel and Ziad Giris. On row 10, Mike Rosenberg and Yanni Kakea. And on row 11 of the grid, Ralph Poplars and Domas Radonas in that new car that has been prepared by GP Elite. And then bringing it up the rear, Porsche Estonia present Thomas Cangro, also in a new car. It was a big accident yesterday. Domas Radonas didn't really get off the line, got collected heavily by Thomas Cangro. Nick Ho's involved and several other cars as well. It was a big accident. It gave us a very lengthy stoppage. But as mentioned, pleased to say everybody walked away from it unscathed. They build them strong at Porsche. Great safety record here, and that was proven by such what would look like a fairly scary accident. All drivers okay, and a couple of new cars on the grid. It does mean that Domas Radonis and Thomas Cangro, because they are in different cars to that in which they qualified, they have to start from the back row of the grid. So they've got a lot of work to do from there, but they'll be pleased just to get some miles under their belt after yesterday's trauma. Teams haven't had a great deal of time to prepare the cars because race 3 of the series was the last race yesterday, and race 4 of the series is the first race today. We are at Circuit Zandvoort in the Netherlands, this legendary circuit, which is 4.259 kilometers around. That equates to 2.646 miles, 14 turns, 10 to the left, 4 to the right. We're about 20 kilometers from Amsterdam. It is a glorious setting, just a stone's throw from the beach. I've got a big crowd in here again for this event today, part of the DTM package, and a great way to demonstrate to everybody what a great series Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux is. A series that is growing year on year in its 12th season, and it has continued to grow year on year. And when you're attracting the likes of Kalle Rovanperä to the grid, you know you are doing something right. Dirk Schuiten, who has a massive social media following, also bringing a lot of fans into Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. The spotlight very much on this series at the moment is the one that a lot of the young drivers want to be seen in. It's the one they want to win in. A great record, the champions of Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux going on to greater things. Robert de Haan, last year's champion, already in Porsche Carrera Cup Germany, get it right, and he has been really ruffling a few feathers there. Right, focus today, race 4, Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux is go, and this time all cars get off the grid nicely, but it's Benjamin Pack who's beaten Dirk Schuiten off the line. Paul Meyer as well. Not what Dirk Schuiten Knutson was looking for. So Benjamin Pack, a lightning start from him. He had a massive win in race 1 of the season at Spa-Francorchamps. He wants to pull clear of Dirk Schouten into second. Now Dirk Schouten, that's Robin Knutson going off wide. Also Niels Langeveld as well. Looked like Knutson went straight on into the barrier. Pretty sure it was Knutson. We may well get a safety car, at least a full course yellow here, but Benjamin Pat leading the way. Dirk Schouten, the first two, breaking clear. Paul Meyer in third place. There's Sasha Norden, keep an eye on him. Last year's Pro-Am champion, Kalle Rovanperä. Behind Sasha Norden as well. Behind them is Cobra. Powell's just coming through your pitch, all the rest of the cars, but as we thought might be the case, safety car is out. Pretty sure it was Robin Knutson that we saw going straight on. Yes, it was. So Knutson into the tyre barrier, the Tech Pro barrier, doing a great job, slowing the car down. You can see how it is folded to absorb the impact. So Robin Knutson, very sadly, his run of nothing but third places is going to come to an end. He was hoping it was going to come to an end with a second or a first, but sadly, it's going to be a DNF, car 32, out of the race. The safety car is out. Let's have a look here at that start. And a lightning reaction from Benjamin Pack. Perhaps not the best reaction from Dirk Schouten, because he almost got mugged by Paul Meyer in an audacious move around the outside of turn 1, the Tarzan turn. Couldn't make it stick. Schouten squeezing through, getting back into that second place. So the incident that involved Niels Langeveld and Robin Knutson under investigation by our race stewards. This is what they look like coming around turn 3, and that was Knutson on the outside. They just got together into turn 2. In fact, you just saw the two cars making contact. Looked very much to me, I'm pleased to say I'm not a steward, I think the drivers will be pleased about that too. It looked to me like very much like a typical first lap incident, cars just jostling for position. You know for a fact that Niels Langeveld would not have done that deliberately. That is certainly not in his nature. And Robin Knutson just perhaps in the wrong place at the wrong time. The stewards will take a look at that, and if they feel as though there has been any kind of infringement, there will be a penalty that will be issued. But the bad news is Robin Knutson is out of the race. You can see that the cherry picker is on standby. The crew, the marshals, just taking their time to get Robin out of the car. Always want to make sure that it's all done safely, no risks, no traumas. So we're just going to continue behind the safety car for the time being. So the highlights, the headline of the day so far. There is Robin Knutson walking to the medical car. He will no doubt get checked over just to make sure that everything's pointing in the right direction. And he will focus on the next round, which is in Imola in a few weeks' time. So good to see that he's okay. But the headlines, Benjamin Pack beat Dirk Schouten off the line to lead into turn 1. Paul Meyer almost did it as well, but didn't quite make it stick. Sasha Norden up into 4th place. He started in 5th, and Kalle Rovanperä up into 5th place. He started 6th. So really good job from Kalle Rovanperä. Of course, the driver who was involved in that incident, Niels Langeveld, he started in 4th place. He is now down in 20th as a result of that incident. And the contact, well, if the car's got the wheels pointing in the right direction, that'll be a result in itself. So you can see Knutson just going straight on into the barrier. Just too many cars on one part of the track, really. There is Ron Dobmeyer, our safety car driver. He's a fireman in his spare time, or maybe he's a safety car driver in his spare time and a fireman full-time. One of the two, but Ron Dobmeyer, something of a legend around the circuits or ADAC events, of which we are part this weekend, taking part in the ADAC race weekend, which features DTM and GT Masters and many other things as well. well. So there is the Knudsen car being moved to safety. So we'd expect to be back to green flag fairly soon. Niels Troost is our leading Pro-Am driver in 10th place. Our leading rookie is Kobe Powles. He's had a great start. We saw him coming through in the number 22 car. Our leading rookie on the grid was Colin Bernighausen, but he's dropped behind Kobe Powles. He's in 7th place, and Powles in 6th place. If you want to know who the rookies are, they are denoted by the orange numbering in your graphic. If you want to know who the Pro-Am drivers are, they are denoted by the blue numbers on your graphic. You can also tell by looking at the cars, because the rookie drivers have an orange cross on the headlights, and the Pro-Am drivers have a blue cross on the headlights. If you want to know what a Pro-Am driver is, it's someone who's a minimum of 30 years old, not competing as a professional in any series during the past 5 years. A rookie driver, well, the clue's in the title, really, isn't it? A driver who's not competed any more than 4 races in Porsche Carrera Cup or Porsche Mo 1 Super Cup, and is no more than 25 years old. We also have the talent pool as well, a group of 7 drivers who are coached and mentored by Dirk Werner, a former Porsche factory driver, and he is involved in the physical, mental, training of these drivers, their nutrition, finding and retaining sponsors, dealing with the media and social media. Great training. There are 7 drivers who are in the talent pool. They are Jurin de Back, Drake Jansen, Kobe Powles, Alex Ryman, Thomas Cangro, Sam Yongyan, and Nick Ho, all in the talent pool. And it's wonderful training. You see the talent pool drivers going on to great things. Great way to cut your teeth. What a lovely day for sitting in the sand dunes. You can see there are spectators scattered all around, picnics in hand, enjoying this Circuit Zandvoort. We're looking at the cars coming out of turn 12 at the moment, behind the safety car. In a moment, we'll see them head out of 13 onto the banking. The Arie Luyendyk turn, named after the Dutch 2-times Indy 500 winner. This banking, 18 degrees of it, allows the drivers to stretch the pit straight, to get on the power nice and early. And you think, oh, that's a nice gentle slope. You want to try walking up it. It is proper steep. You do not get any appreciation at all of how steep it is looking at it on the TV. So it's turn 14, which has 18 degrees of banking, and turn 3, which has 19 degrees of banking, and all of it helping to improve overtaking. The track modified in 2020 in preparation for the return of Formula 1, the Dutch Grand Prix, of course. A massive event here at Circuit Zandvoort. So there's the rest of the crowd sitting out in the sunshine, enjoying this glorious weather. I'm just looking to see, yes, safety car is in on this lap. So the car's currently heading up, that is out of the banked turn 3, up the hill towards turn 4 and 5. A blind crest requiring an awful lot of courage to keep the foot flat to the floor. It's a blind crest and a corner and a hill. You want to try it in the rain as well. There wasn't much traction there yesterday. So a very, very difficult corner, one that many drivers fear. And then it's a steep downhill in towards turn 6. The drivers carrying an awful lot of speed into turn 6, something like 220 kilometers an hour. So yeah, a lot of speed in these wonderful cars. It is Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux using the Porsche 911 based on the 992s. One of our very hard-working Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux crew. Great to have her featured on the screen. She does an awful lot of work for us, and a wonderful person too. So a lot of people working to make this series what it is, a series that people are looking at and taking notice of, because it provides great racing, and you're about to witness that, because with 20.5 minutes remaining plus 1 lap, we're getting ready to restart the 4th race of the season. It's Benjamin Pack who leads Dirk Schutter. Now it will be his decision when to hit the accelerator. There can be no overtaking until they reach the start-finish line. Benjamin Benjamin really back in the pack up here, but he will then nail it when he thinks Dirk Schouten is not expecting it. Here he goes, out of 12 into 13, and he has done exactly what he wanted to do. Benjamin Pack opening up a gap on Dirk Schouten. Schouten has anticipated it reasonably well, but Benjamin really did back them up, didn't he? Out of 14, absolutely flat out in towards turn 1, 252 kilometers an hour under braking into turn 1. Benjamin Pack leading the way. Dirk Schouten in second, challenges for position further back. Keep an eye on Kobe Powles as well, further back. He is in the fellow team car to Benjamin Pack, and he's looking to move forwards. There's Nick Ho. He didn't even take the start yesterday in the 98 car because he was involved in that start line incident. He is working his way through from the back of the pack, or near the back of the pack. Here's our race leader. Great shots as they come over the bumps and the curbs and keeping the foot buried on the throttle. These cars looking and sounding spectacular here at Zandvoort. So Benjamin Pack leading the way. There's Dirk Schouten. There's a bit of a gap opening between them. So last time out, round 1 at Spa-Francorchamps, in the first race, Benjamin Pack won by a long, long way. A big gap between first and second. He really was able to use the clean air as Nick Ho moves to the inside of Ziad Giris for position. Now Sasha Norden and Paul Meyer running side by side. Sasha Norden, a hugely talented driver who's been a little bit frustrated so far. Some difficult qualifying sessions has put him further back than he would expect. So he's going to be impatient. Currently in 4th place, looking to challenge Paul Meyer. So hasn't made it stick at the moment, but you just know he is putting the pressure. Well, according to the time screen, he has made it stick. So it's saying, oh no, Meyer is back in that 3rd place. They've updated. There is Paul Meyer in car 7. Sasha Norden into turn 1, taking a little look to the outside, but behind him is Kalle Rovanperä, the driver who is, may I remind you, the 2-times World Rally Champion, but is also an extremely quick learner and is absolutely loving it. He hasn't stopped grinning since he first sat in the seat of one of these cars back at the end of last week, and he has been really, really rapid. He really adapts and assimilates very, very quickly, and suddenly is challenging hard, and you get the feeling that Sasha Norden is going to have a bit of World Rally Champion behind him, going steaming around the corner. Kalle Rovanperä doing a bit of rallying himself. Now, was that a lockout from Dirk Schouten? You saw the puff of blue smoke as the cars went in to turn 9. You saw from your graphic that the incident between Robin Knudsen and Niels Langeveld is to be investigated after the race. That's a fairly sensible decision, particularly as Knudsen is not going to feature in the result. Still the leader, Benjamin Pack. Dirk Schouten in second. Paul Meyer with a Sasha Norden filling his mirrors, and he in turn has Kalle Rovanperä filling his mirrors. Leading rookie Kobe Powles in 6th place overall. Niels Troost is in 12th place. He's been overtaken by Jeroen de Back, but Niels Troost is our leading Pro-Am driver, but he now has Jules Grauw for company just a 1/10 of a second behind. So races within races here. We have the overall race, just taking a quick look here, and that was Ziad Giris and Niels Langeveld. So clearly no lasting damage from the incident at the start of the race. Now it looks as though Kalle Rovanperä has had a bit of a moment because he's dropped back from Sasha Norden. Suddenly Kobe Powles has got an eye on him, but keep an eye on Colin Berninghausen in the white number 55 car. He's guesting here in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. He's also racing this weekend in Porsche 6th Carrera Cup Germany. So his arms are going to ache when he goes to bed tonight, because he's going to be doing 2 races here today. He is loitering in the background, and if Kobe Powles just sets one wheel wrong, Colin Berninghausen Jansen will be through, but also behind him is Draker Jansen. Draker, who didn't take the start in either of the races at Spa-Francorchamps after a fairly large accident, really enjoying his first full weekend in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux, but it is a steep learning curve, and Sam Yongyan, one of the absolute stars, up-and-coming superstars, a part of the talent pool in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux, who finished on the podium in his first ever event last year in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux in the green and black number 65 car, was very disappointed with his qualifying, felt as though he could have done a lot better with the setup, was struggling a little bit, maybe went in the wrong direction. But now Sam Yongyan, it looks like they've got that number 65 car dialed in. He finished third in the rookie race yesterday. Now he's got his eyes on Draker Jansen, heading into turn one, under braking into the Tarzan turn. Draker Jansen has that nice tight racing inside line. He goes out wide in turn two. Now Sam Yongyan trying to go the long way round. The outside becomes the inside, and Sam Yongyan stealing away 8th place from Draker Jansen. Up high on the banking of turn three. Draker perhaps thinking, maybe I could get him back. Doesn't make it stick, but in the background is Alex Ryman, another of the many, many superstars in this race. He, the number 47 driver, the red and black car behind them, he featured very heavily in the Porsche Sprint Challenge Southern Europe, another fantastic championship. He was very strong in there, taking wins aplenty in that over the winter period, and now in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux, putting all the experience that he gained to good use. Currently in 10th place, and that is a spinner, and it's Ralph Poplars who's had a turnaround. So Poplars, he's managed to be avoided. It was a bit of a brown alert moment as he was sideways across the track. We'll no doubt see a replay of that in a moment, find out what happened. It looked like he just lost it on his own, and Nick Ho would have had flashbacks to yesterday. He manages to avoid the pirouetting car in front of him, continues without any dramas. So Ralph Poplars, who was in 18th place, a bit of a get-out-of-jail-free card there for him. So he's able to continue. His tyres will have a very large flat spot on them. They'll be vibrating through the car, but the main bit is he's okay, the car's okay, he's able to continue. Right, at the front, Benjamin Pack leads the way, 9/10. Well, a fraction, 0.003 less than 1 second clear of Dirk Schuiten. Further back, yesterday's pole sitter, yesterday's second place, Niels Langeveld, pushing his way through past the 39 of Yanni Kakea. Yanni, who had a great day yesterday, finished second in the Pro-Am race. A really strong showing from him, but losing a position there to the number 10 car. So Langeveld coming back after that early incident on the opening couple of corners where he got together with Robin Knudsen, and he's now having to work his way back through the pack. So clearly no damage to the number 10 car. He was delighted with what he was able to achieve yesterday. He started on pole, finished second. He's had no testing at all here in that number 10 car, so he was really chuffed that he was able to bring it home in that second place. Had high hopes for this race, but wasn't planning on getting involved with anybody on the opening lap in the way that he did. So not quite the game plan, so very much damage recovery, you could say, here in race 4 of the season. We have less than 12 minutes remaining of this race, and it's race 4 of the season for Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. Benjamin Pack still leading from Dirk Schuiten, stretching his legs by another 0.3. So Pack very much got this under control. These cars all absolutely identical, very, very limited, and how much setup changes, well, just setup changes. They're not able to make any other changes, just things like wing angle, some camber changes, but not a lot else. So these cars are very, very equally matched, and the drivers really relying on skill. It's proper old school racing. We've got Niels versus Niels, Mr. Truce versus Mr. Langeveld. Truce in 13th, 14th is Langeveld. So Langeveld continuing his march up back through the pack. So Langeveld now shaping up behind car number 8. It looks as though It's only going to be a matter of time before he finds a route past into turn 7, out towards turn 8. This part of the circuit, not a lot of overtaking opportunities here. There are some very deep gravel traps. You can see them there, and you really don't want to end up in one of those, because if you do, you're probably going to need a safety car to get you out. But now, coming out into the latter part of the lap, you get the feeling that it's going to be Langeveld that's going to make a move on Troost before too long. Just behind him at the moment into turn 12, the chicane. Then it'll be up towards turn 13. He'll want to be tucked up as tightly behind car number 8 as he possibly can. And then it'll be the flat out up the 18 degrees of banking. Pick up a slipstream, whatever he can, out of 14 and try and make that move into turn 1. So here they come, absolutely full beans, giving it everything into turn 1. Troost looks like he's anticipated this well. So Langeveld still not able to make it happen. Has a little look to the inside, so held up by his standards for one more lap. Just ahead of them is Jules Grau, the leading Pro-Am driver in the number 77 car. So Troost versus Langeveld, the fight for 13th place. Langeveld working his way back through the pack after a disastrous opening lap where he got together with Robin Knudsen. It's meant that Robin Knudsen has retired. He's the only car that is not running in this race. Everybody else is. We saw Raf Poplars having that big moment a couple of laps ago. He's still running, albeit in 22nd place, so no damage done there. Benjamin Pack leads the way at the front. Dirk Schutten, Paul Meyer, Sasha Norden, Kalle Rovanperä. Now, once again, it's Niels Langeveld to the inside of Niels Troost. Still, Troost has him covered off. Still, the number 8 car stays in that 13th place. Again, a gap to the inside now. Surely he's got it done. If he can get it slowed down, he can. So car 10 picking off another place. It's 13th place for Niels Langeveld. Now, next up the road is Jules Grau, but with less than 8.5 minutes plus 1 lap remaining of this race, time is going to be running out to get any more points. He's going to be giving it all that he can. You just know that to catch Jules Grau up ahead of him. It was about a second ahead last time across the line. I dare say that will have changed as a result of the overtaking manoeuvre that we saw. Cobra Powell's in the other of the black and white machines. That is prepared by Dietron Luxury. He is the leading rookie driver, still in 6th place with Colin Berdinghausen behind him. Great to see Draker Janssen now in 9th place, getting some good laps in. Alex Ryman, though, looking menacing in car 47. Alex Ryman, who is the Pro-Am champion in the Porsche Sprint Challenge Southern Europe from this year. He had 5 category wins in 8 races, and he finished 3rd overall in the championship. A really rapid driver from Estonia. Also great to have Est1 Racing, the Estonian team, on the grid. They were also fielding Thomas Kangro in car 48. He was the one who had that monstrous accident on the start line yesterday. So the Est1 team have been burning the midnight oil, getting the 2nd car prepared for this, the 4th race of the season. Right, looking up high here, Yannick Kakea went very deep into the corner. There was Domas Radonis. Very unusual colours on account of the fact he's not in his familiar car. Well, it's not affecting him too much. Stealing his way past, and Radonis up into 16th place from the absolute back of the pack. So good job done by him. He'll be quite keen to carry on with that progress. He's in the rookie championship, so he will get points for that if things remain as they are. And if he can pick up another place, he'll also get points in the overall championship. Cobra Powell's in the number 22 car. Colin Berdinghausen. What happens when the irresistible force meets the immovable object? Well, we're about to find out, because these two drivers both absolute chargers in Porsche Carrera Cup racing. Both of them new to this discipline. Colin Berninghausen last year was racing in another series that's not Porsche. Kobe Powell's, he has also come into Porsche this year. He was racing at Fiestas not that long ago, just 2 years ago. It's a little bit different, I think. These two drivers, both young drivers, both rookies. Colin Berninghausen, he is a guest driver, so he's not scoring points, but he's certainly looking to take trophies and podiums. This is for the leader of the rookie race. So, Kobe Powell's in car 22. He's in 6th place overall, but he's the leading rookie driver. Ahead of him is Kalle Rovanperä in 5th place, who's dropped back a little bit from Sasha Norden. There's Sasha Norden, the red, white and blue car. Managed to break clear of Rovanperä. And then it's Kobe Powell's and Colin Berninghausen battling for the top step of the podium in the rookie race. 3rd in the rookie, Sam Yongyan in 8th place overall. A little bit subdued yesterday in the green and black car, but he did get a 3rd place in the rookie standings. And he will be going back and analysing the data and trying to work out how he can improve on that when we gather next time in Imola. There's Sasha Norden, still clear of Kalle Rovanperä. There's Kobe Powell's, Colin Berninghausen, very much in the single file at the moment. You just get the feeling, one mistake, one moment, and this could all explode and it could all change. Colin Berninghausen in the all-white car, unfamiliar colours to him. Normally got a lot of orange on the car, there, the black and white car, the leading rookie, Kobe Powell's, as denoted also by the orange crosses on the headlights. Good Evans, we're into the last 4.5 minutes plus 1 lap of the race. Benjamin Pack appears to have this under control. Dirk Schouten, who was so jubilant yesterday, well, I think 2nd place, he'll be pretty happy with that. Had it not been for dramas in the first race of the season, it would have been podiums in every race so far. He got a 10th in the first race at Spa, but he's followed that up with back-to-back wins. It's propelled him to the top of the points championship. 9 points clear Robin Knutsen, but of course Knutsen will be scoring no points here in this race. So Dirk Schouten is going to be ahead of Knutsen, whatever, and if he remains in 2nd place, it's going to be a very healthy lead indeed. Benjamin Pack, very much a championship challenger, but has been on the back foot since Spa-Francorchamps. He really feels as though today is the day his season really gets going. Starting from pole position and leading the way here and doing exactly what he needs to do to get back into that championship hunt. There's Kalle Rovanperä falling into the clutches at Kobe Powell's, and you do wonder where there are some grip issues on the number 69 car. We saw him a little bit wild early on in the race, and the tyres on these Porsches need to go the distance. It's all about going hard, going fast, but also making sure you got a bit of grip at the end. So Rovanperä looking a little bit vulnerable in that 5th place. But to remind you, this is his 2nd ever circuit race. Yesterday was his 1st. He finished in 4th, came so close to a podium, was a man on a charge at the end of the race. There's a lockup from Kobe Powell's. Now that's going to create an opportunity for Colin Berninghausen. He sees a gap. You can see suddenly Berninghausen looking very, very eager because he knows that Kobe Powell's would have lost a little bit of pace. But keep an eye on Sam Yongyan in the green and black car, enjoying his first full season in Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. He guested last year at the Red Bull Ring, finished on the podium on his debut, looking very strong indeed. He suddenly can get a sniff of maybe getting past Colin Berninghausen, maybe even getting past Kobe Powell's, but he's going to have to get on with it. 2 minutes remaining plus 1 lap of this race. You are witnessing the fight for 6th place, the black and white car of Kobe Powell's, but also the top step of the podium in the rookie race. There they are coming through the screen now. Kalle Rovanperä has suddenly caught up with Sasha Norden. So Norden locking up into turn 1. This is going to create an opportunity for Rovanperä. Gap into turn 2. So having said Rovanperä appeared to be dropping back, quite the opposite. Norden suddenly under pressure from the rally champion into turn 3, onto the banking. taking slightly different lines. Up high they go. Kalle Rovanperä suddenly looking dangerous as he looks at 4th place. Sasha Norden in the 21 car. You saw that lock up into turn 1. It had given a slight flat spot. It would have unsettled him just for a few corners. Rovanperä was not able to capitalize on it, but suddenly he's getting a sniff of equaling his best result yesterday of 4th place. Sasha Norden's gathered it all up together, but all of that has allowed Kobe Powers and Colin Berninghausen and Sam Yongyan all to get involved. This here is the fight for 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, all running together out on the track. Sam Yongyan, he's not settling for 8th place. He wants 7th, maybe 6th, maybe more. But we are coming up to the last 30 seconds of timed racing. Our race leader up at turn 13 at the moment. I think he's going to reach the start-finish line potentially before the clock strikes 0. If he does that, once the clock strikes 0, it will be what remains of that lap plus one more before we see the checkered flag. So across the line goes our race leader. So it's going to be 2 more laps of this race. 2 more laps of race 4, Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux 2024. And the fight is on. Sam Yongyan to the outside of Colin Berninghausen into turn 1, the Tarzan turn. He tries to do what many have done before him, to go wide, tuck back to the inside, but it doesn't work on this occasion. But he's not going to have many more opportunities if he wants to relieve car 55 of 2nd place in the rookie race. Across the hill, over the hill comes Sasha Norden. Behind him, Kalle Rovanperä drop back a bit now. Then Kobe Powers. You get the feeling 4th, 5th and 6th may be settled for this race, but behind it could all change. Colin Berninghausen just behind him. Sam Yongyan there as well at the back of the queue. You can almost see the steam coming out of his ears in frustration. He can see up ahead of him Sasha Norden in 4th place. He's just got to get past those cars in front. He's there though at the back, and time has run out on the clock. So the clock strikes 0. Race leaders into turn 11 at the moment. It's Benjamin Pack, 0.6 of a second ahead of Dirk Schouten. So Schouten has not given up on this. A fairly quiet race by his standards in the 2nd place, but he's reeled in our race leader while we've been watching this battle here for 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th and 8th. In the background, Draker Janssen in 9th. He's having a good, strong race as well. But Benjamin Pack crossing the line to start what will be his last lap of the race. Out in towards turn 1, he comes. Benjamin Pack now further back. Sam Yongyan, Colin Berninghausen taking a tight line in towards turn 1. Yongyan trying to go the long way round, but under braking. Surely he can't make that happen. He's going to try and tuck in here, isn't he? Yes, he does. Goes to the inside, but Colin Berninghausen has anticipated that well. He knew exactly what Yongyan was thinking. Now into turn 3. Look at Sam Yongyan sliding the car up high on the banking. Now a big launch out of 3 towards turn 4. Berninghausen has this under control. Sam Yongyan continuing to be frustrated. All of that has allowed Kobe Powers to break clear in 6th place. Clear in the rookie race. The top step of the podium looking like it's going to go the way of 22. Kobe Powers, Kalle Rovanperä in 5th place, looking solid. In the background, Draker Janssen, the driver impressed so much in the Porsche Sprint Challenge Southern Europe over the winter. Just closing in as well in 9th place, but time is running out because our race leader is heading in towards turn 11 at the moment. He's just got 12, 13 and 14, and Benjamin Pack will be looking at his 2nd win of the season. You can see how close Dirk Schouten is. That was about half a second between them. I think there's even closer than that now, but up into turn 14 for the last time. Benjamin Pack exits turn 14, flashing the lights, weaving across the line. Win number 2 of the season for Benjamin Pack. 2nd place to Dirk Schouten. A great points haul. Paul Meyer, consistent run just there in the background. Sasha Norden, 4th place. Kalle Rovanperä going to come home in 5th, ahead of Kobe Powers, who wins the rookie race. Colin Berninghausen, Sam Yongyan, that's the 1, 2, 3 in the rookies. Draker Janssen, 4th in the rookies, 9th overall, ahead of Alex Ryman and Jurien de Back. then Niels Langeveld, and it's Niels Troost who wins in the Pro-Am category, finishing 13 overall. It's Jules Grau, 14th overall, second in the Pro-Am category. From the back of the back of the pack, Domas Radonis finishing in 15th place. Wolters Viedris in 16. Yanni Kakea is third place in the Pro-Am's, 17th overall. Then Nick Ho in 18th and Thomas Cangro 19th. Mike Rosenberg in 20th. So there you go. All subject to confirmation, of course, but you can see Benjamin Pack just 0.4 of a second, 4.5 tenths ahead of Dirk Schuten, Paul Meyer, Sasha Norden and Kalle Rovanperä, Cobra Powers, Colin Berninghouse and Sam Yongyan, Drake Janssen, good score from him ahead of Alex Ryman, Jurin de Back, Niels Langeveld, Niels Troost, Jules Grau, but it's Troost ahead of Graus in the Pro-Am race, and then Yanni Kakea taking the third step of the podium in the Pro-Am race. Great stuff here in the sunshine. Pleased to say, not the controversy, not quite the level of damage we had yesterday. This is what we absolutely love of Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. And the team at D'Ieteren Luxury Performance, who prepare that car, doing a great job. So we say congratulations to Benjamin Pack, congratulations to Dirk Schuten, and congratulations to Paul Meyer. You're 1, 2, 3 in the Porsche Carrera Cup Benelux. The 1, 2, 3 in the rookies, Cobra Powers, Colin Berninghausen, and Sam Yongyan. And we'll see you next time, Imola, 5th to the 7th of July for round 3. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.